Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when it comes to the West, you have to understand that the West likes to be the police of the world. And that's one thing that I really don't like about it. Number one, they want to force their entire ideology on the whole world. If you don't agree with them, if you don't follow their way of life that they think is good for you, well, they deem you to be part of the T's. Okay, and what's the T? You may be wondering. They like to throw that word around. I'm sure you probably know about it. But on today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about, the girl who decided to sleep with over 1,000 men. Now, this is something that you will not hear in the Muslim world. You won't hear that in the Muslim world. And you're not going to hear the president or the news saying that we need to ban this. But they are very quick to tell the women to uncover their hair. That women covering their hair, women covering their body is a form of oppression. And that didn't really make any sense to me because the women are choosing to do it. But if the West, like I said, if the West comes up with something and the rest of the world does not fall in line, well, you become an enemy automatically. Anyways, let's go ahead and figure out exactly what Jamari has to say about this whole situation of the girl being, ran through by over 1,000 men.
So over the last couple of months, things have gotten even darker in the world of OF girls. We had previously discussed how bad
I completely forgot about Adam 22, bro.
Baby, aka the Catch Me Outside girl,
Catch me outside, how about that?
made loads of money on OF the day she turned 18.
Is it true you made over $1 million in your first 6 hours?
Yes.
And now you have many other girls making tens of millions of dollars a year. And one girl specifically made $43 million last year on OF alone.
I was serving at a regular minimum wage job, driving there every day. I'm like, what can I do different?
Which breaks down to over $199,000 per hour for her work week.
$4 million in a month?
Yeah.
It's weird, because she also looks 14, so get your bag, I guess.
Thanks.
I mean, these chicks are out here putting up bigger numbers than NBA stars. One guy specifically has sent her over $4.3 million since...
Hey, yo, we got to talk about Elon Musk. Homeboy went ahead and fixed the whole gameplay. Now, that is hilarious, bro. The whole game community is laughing at him. As a matter of fact, I think he went as far as blocking Osmongold.
he stumbled upon her page, and she claims to have never even met the man who coins himself as Charlie. And the lore actually gets much sadder when you watch this video of the very same girl when she's a child saying what she wants to be when she grows up.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A doctor and an astronaut.
Oh my god, that is so precious. I've never actually heard anybody say they want to be an astronaut. Because, obviously it never works, that's why. But like...
Yeah, sometimes reality does hit you fast.
Wow.
Either way, $4 million.
I mean, we got girls with PhD literally, stopping their job just to start an OnlyFans because they want an easy way out. Now, I'll say this. I'm not a big fan of Myron. I'm fresh and fit. But one thing that he said that I agree with is the fact that women on OnlyFans are lazy as... And it's true. It's definitely true. How easy is it to open your leg, take a picture, and just post it? And then get thousands of dollars from there. Or you have a PhD, start working, and hope that you make as much as you made from taking a picture of your box compared to you actually going to an actual job. It comes down to laziness for one. Two, it comes down to the instant money that we want.
On some digital cheeks has to be just about the biggest waste of money I've ever seen.
You blew it!
Like that is some Black Mirror parasocial down bad behavior this fellow is partaking in. But at least that relationship remained online, whereas these two other girls from London have been running around trying to break records for the most people they can sleep with in one day.
On a TikTok. Do you want the video after TikTok?
How many shoes are you guys counting? Wait. Whoa, these are all the guys. There's more in there as well.
It's almost like when an NFL or MLB team holds open tryouts for the general public. Only in this case, the whole event is one chick busting it wide open for her many followers. Or in some cases, just random men off the street that they can find. And for that video, she was specifically looking for 100 men to run the choo-choo, and a man named Josh Peters actually made a documentary on the entire event. And some of the things shown in it are downright sad, but also teach a great lesson. It talks about the fact that her father now wants nothing to do with her because she is so embarrassing.
Have you recognized any of the names in here of people that you might know?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's been some guys outwardly say we used to go to school together.
Wow.
Or some dad's friends and stuff like that.
What messaging you?
Yeah. I do feel a little bit embarrassed being Mom and Dad, I'm 100 guys.
Why?
I guess because it's not really what my parents would have wanted me to do.
And that despite the monetary success, she feels that most men see her as an object because of her line of work. There are also other anecdotal stories presented here to suggest that this lifestyle isn't exactly all it's cracked up to be, and it seems like many of the people who do partake in this industry are left with some sort of PTSD.
The problem is that when you sign up to objectifying yourself, it's like you're signing a deal with the devil. No one is going to see you as a human being. It gets to the point where everyone objectifies you. That's the reality of it. You're like the cash cow.
I also found it interesting that she makes the point that everyone starts out innocent enough, maybe just taking lewd photos in lingerie or a swimsuit, but eventually once the money and the offers start coming in to get more explicit, it's hard not to say yes.
I started off just doing bikini pictures and lingerie, but it is a slippery slope. And the demand is more. Before you know it, you're having on camera.
And is that something you regret?
There's a lot I regret on there.
But to me, there's really not enough money in the world to fill the void that comes with selling your soul. I mean, just think about it, guys. Everywhere you go, you don't know who's seen this shit. I'm talking about friends, I'm talking about family, I'm talking about future associates, and maybe even just random people out there on the street. And it also came to my attention.
Alright guys, let me show you guys something, okay? I'm sure many of you guys have seen this movie. And if you haven't, I highly recommend it. Now, this is the reason I brought up this movie. It's because at the beginning, this soldier right here, he was so excited. Oh my God, I'm about to join the army. He was pumped until he got in the battlefield. And you can just see the shift in his entire facial expression as the movie goes on. Really, really great movie, by the way. Now, why did I bring this up? Because at the beginning, they don't see the harm in what they're doing. They have no idea the danger and the consequence of their action when they're young. Like the lady said, you get PTSD for something like this. So one thing that I pray to God for is for for World War III not to start yet. I want to see this girl grow up. Why do I want to see that happen? Because I want them to face their own action. I want them to see the consequence of their own action. Because this is a disaster. This should not have existed whatsoever. The moment that she announced that she is going to sleep with over 100 men, it should have been right then and there that we needed an entire society reevaluation and think to ourselves, what the fuck is going on? We need to do something about this. But yet, nobody said anything. And now the number is up to 1,050, 56 or 57 around there? Seriously, it's freaking ridiculous, bro.
Attention that when she did put out the notice to her fans that she would be having this open invitation, the messages were rolling in.
So how are you doing this? You put out a phone number
Yeah.
and people can just apply?
Yeah, so I put out a little Twitter post, and all you do always have to send in a photo of you holding your ID, 2006.
Oh my God,
So
how
what's
does that make him? So 18.
18, yeah.
But when the actual date came, a lot of these guys pussied out, most likely because they are accustomed to never even being around a woman in the first place, and most of them likely just stay at home paying to look at pictures and videos of other men beating up the box.
It doesn't seem like things are going great. There are a lot of guys cancelling. They're scrambling now to find people at the last minute. I don't understand how the guys they're scrambling to find at the last minute are going to get STI checks in time.
Funny, like in the text it was like, you know, if you have any friends who'd like to take part, and I was like, oh.
And despite what she claims, I know this has to have some sort of deep psychological impact on her.
It's not for the weak girls, if I'm honest. It was hard. I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Well, I guess her friend saw.
Honestly, she didn't learn her lesson because she was getting ready to go for 1,000, and then her friend beat her to it.
This behavior and decided that she wanted a piece of that online attention. So she went on a quest to be with 1,000 different men in one day. I am absolutely serious.
I'm the girl that lets men queue for hours. But on the 11th of January, I'm hosting an event and I want to give you a ticket so you can skip the queue and then get straight inside me.
And her methods for recruitment had some people shaking their heads in disgust. Just watch as she tries to get this young man who's just trying to make some money working at Five Guys to get involved.
I just wondered, I can't see it on the menu, but where do I get the Five Guys from? The Five Guys. I didn't know if there was like a special room where you can take me out back.
No, I don't think that's happening.
What about after your shift? I mean, I'd want to give you, a good rating.
I'm a Christian man and I'm with Sigma.
And when a girl decides to wear a hijab or a niqab, they decide to drop a bomb on them simply because they decide to wear a hijab. And yeah, you have this going around asking men for sex. And yeah, you don't hear shit from the Western media talking about how disgusting and abhorrent this act is.
I'm asking for what's on the menu, that's all.
Genuinely, I feel like I'm doing it right now. I can hand you a menu if you want.
Are you on it?
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's a shame.
Like, how is that not straight up solicitation? The dude is obviously young, and good for him for having his head on straight, but she openly brags about this type of behavior over and over again.
Okay, so you Karen think you're going to stop me sleeping with your sons, but I know my rights and I know exactly what I'm doing.
It's no secret, I'm the girl that slept with over 100 barely legal 18-year-olds at Nottingham for Freshers Week.
And the dude from Five Guys actually came out on Twitter to say that this wasn't on his bingo card and that he thought it was funny at first, but in hindsight he questioned why she never asked for his age, why she was so persistent, and why she never asked him for his consent to post the video in the first place. Because these short little videos are really just all promotion and to create buzz around this 1,000 men freak-off. Either way, eventually they would find 1,000 nasty individuals to spelunk this cave.
Hey boys, I'm only a few minutes away from 73 New Cavendish Street. Come right now and me.
I'm sorry, but this has to be illegal. Like, if this was a man posting these videos online, the sick fuck would end up on a watch list. And she even has the audacity to call this a family event.
I'm hosting a family event this Sunday near Oxford Circus in London, and I'd love you and the boys to be there.
And then they even posted a video of all the sick dudes waiting in line for their turn. Like, can you imagine being number 1,000? Well, I guess this guy can.
Just out of curiosity, would you want to go first or last in my queue?
Yeah, I never even thought about that, bro. Imagine the last man, bro. Oh my God. Yo. Whoo, I can't even imagine that, dude. Let's keep going, man.
Oh.
I remember this guy on whatever podcast. He's the one that likes to let his girl get screwed by other men. So he's just as nasty as her. The only difference is he's not able to screw 1,000 women in one day.
When you've already had me, so are you going to be selfish and go first again, or are you going to...
Do you know what? I'd probably go last.
Yeah, save the best till last.
Best till last.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Okay.
Again, you're going to be experienced, which you are anyway, but...
Nicely warmed up.
Nicely warmed up. Flowing, yeah, I think, last to be better.
Perfect.
Nah. Someone needs to take old boy behind the shed. Like, he doesn't deserve oxygen anymore. Like, at that point, would you even feel anything? And really, would you want to? It would be like getting the 1,000th lick on a community scoop of ice cream. It's just disgusting. Or maybe like taking a glob of gum off that nasty wall that they have in Spain or whatever the fuck it is, and chewing that shit up in your mouth. It's just nasty. I also like how half these blokes are dressed on some Peaky Blinders shit, and the other half just have on crusty tube socks. I mean, just think about it. This was a decision that these men had a lot of time to ponder as they stood there in line next to their fellow man. And I just gotta say it, if they all ended up catching something after this, I would not feel bad for a single one of these individuals. Now afterwards, this is what she had to say about the event and her partaking in it.
This is what my face looks like after taking 1,000 men less than 12 hours ago.
The big 1,000 was completely done. The room was absolutely full. Then we did groups of 5, like one after the other of 5s. I wanted to give people more time, so then it went down to like one-on-ones, didn't it? So like one person would watch whilst I was with somebody, and then it would literally just be like a rotating circle.
Nah. You got other men watching. Oh.
Like that.
Yeah, this woman is out here handing out generational trauma.
Let's get a round of applause in the room, people.
And her holding up that sign like she's Wilt fucking Chamberlain after his 100-point game is some nasty work. Like, who the hell is actually turned on by this type of content? In the end, this only took 12 hours of straight hot dog time to accomplish, meaning that each participant had around 40 seconds of fun before it was time to go. Overall, I think the normalization of this type of shit is very bad for our society, especially for young men and how it affects the way they look at and treat women. Like back in the day, it's not like all the corn stars were public figures. In fact, most of them were likely shamed. But nowadays, it's like you're just a girl boss for doing this type of shit. They'll show you off at sporting events. You can make public appearances. I mean, it's ridiculous. And a big part of me just doesn't understand the appeal of paying for something that is so readily available. And I also think everyone involved in this little fiasco has something deeply wrong with them. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I understand that nasty stuff like this has been going on since the dawn of time, but the fact that it's becoming so normal and like young preteens or teenage boys or teenage girls are being introduced to this type of stuff and these type of people in regular spaces like Instagram or Twitter, where they're just doing their thing openly, trying to draw these individuals in. I don't know, something about that, it really just does not sit right with me. But I want to know what you guys think about this phenomena down below. Personally, I think this chick should be in jail. I don't know, I just can't shake the theory that if this was a man and the roles were reversed, well, the cops would be at her fucking door. Either way, some of y'all need to start thinking with the right head. Y'all stop paying for this shit. Y'all don't be participating in this type of thing. I promise you there's a much better way to spend your time and your money. Either way, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Drop.
Alright, my final thought. Well, what can I say? This is the idea of, women empowerment. This is the idea that the West has for the world when it comes to women. So now you think to yourself, is this what the world is going to accept? Is this what the West wants to push on the rest of the world that do not want this degeneracy? Even recently, an OnlyFans in Turkey announced that she wanted to sleep with 100 men. You guessed it. She got arrested, by the way. Now, that's Turkey. That's a Muslim country right there. All right? Turkey is part of NATO, so, that's why you probably didn't hear about it very much. NATO is the Western, it's a bunch of European countries all together that wants to hold each other's back, if you don't know, but that's a whole different topic in of itself. All in all, are you really surprised that over 1,000 men showed up to actually put their sausage in the same hole? Like I said, I'm done. I can't. This is disgusting, gross, and you will not hear a peep about it, about how disgusting and abhorrent, and we need to stop this on the mainstream media. You won't hear about it. But God forbid a woman decides to cover her hair. She chose, by the way. As soon as she does that, she's oppressed. Oh my God. Look at the way Muslims deal with their women. They tell the women to cover up. Meanwhile, all women over here is sticking freaking 1,000 dick up the... Okay, I'm done.